chord, your first chord, A major, went from A to E. Slowly lift all three fingers. Hi, in this video series I want to teach you how to play the acoustic guitar as a total beginner. First, let's go over the most common questions beginners have about learning the guitar. Is it better to start learning the electric guitar or the acoustic guitar? There are many people starting out with the electric guitar, but also there are many people starting with acoustic guitar, which are even more. In the end, it doesn't really matter, both ways are possible, but it's better to start out on the acoustic guitar, because you can play open chords easily and get a lot of songs down quickly, which is very fun in the beginning. Can you learn guitar by yourself or teach it yourself? In today's age, with access to so many information through the internet, it's absolutely possible to learn the guitar yourself. The problem is that there are too many information. Maybe you don't know what to learn. You need some good guidelines. In this video series, I want to give you the first steps about learning the acoustic guitar so that you know where to start. As a beginner, it's best to learn the open chords first. This gives you a foundation for learning the rest of the guitar, and with a few chords you can already play some songs, as I will show you later. If you know the basic chords, you can play hundreds, if not thousands of songs with chord charts from the internet. In today's video, I also will show you how to play your first song with only 2 chords. Before playing anything on the guitar, you need to tune your strings, otherwise it won't sound good. There are a few ways to tune your guitar. At first, there are tuning devices with a built-in microphone to tune your strings. Second, there are clip-on tuners, like this one you can see here. They just clip on the top of your headstock, and you can tune your guitar through the vibrations in the headstock. I will show you in a minute how to do that. If you don't have any of these devices, you can download apps on your phone which also can tune your guitar through the built-in microphone. To tune the guitar, you have to know the names of the string first. Let's go through the strings. Starting at the top with the lowest string, down to the bottom to the highest string. This is a low E string, which is closest to you and is the lowest of all strings. E. After that we have the A string, followed by the D string, G, B, and finally E again. You may notice that there's 2 E strings, the low E string and the high E string at the bottom. This is the exact same tone, but in a different octave. The low E string is marked with a capital E and the high string with a small e, so you can differentiate them. Let's tune our guitar. First I turn on the tuner. I plug the low E string first and look at the tuner. I see the needle is red, a little bit above the middle, so I have to tune up until the needle is completely green. If I tune more up, the string goes sharp and has a pitch which is too high, so I need to tune down again. Now we see everything is flashing green, so the string is perfectly in tune. Let's do it for the rest of the strings. Second, the A string. Already pretty good. D string. Now the 4th string, G. That's a little bit out of tune, as you can see. So let's turn it up. Here we go, perfectly in tune. Now that the guitar is perfectly in tune, we can start playing. Let's begin with learning chords. How many guitar chords are there, you may wonder? Let's break it down. There are a lot of guitar chords, but the basic chords let you play a lot of songs out there if you don't play jazz or something very special. How many chords are there? To keep it pretty basic, for every note there are 2 basic chords. How many notes are there? There are 7 notes: C, D, E, F, G, A, B. For every of these notes there are 2 chords, a major chord and a minor chord. These 2 types of chords often are played pretty similar on the guitar and have just one note which is different. Major chords often sound happy, whereas minor chords are often described as sad or a little bit melancholy. Of course, you can also mix these 2 types of chords, which is done in a lot of songs. Let's start by learning some major chords, because if you know basic major chords, it isn't difficult to also learn the minor versions of them. The most important major chords are C major, A major, G major, E major, and D major. A lot of times in chord charts you will just read the letter C. C always means C major or G or whatever. If it's a minor chord, it is written with a little M behind it. It's a little bit much for a beginner to learn 5 chords in one lesson. Let's start by 2 basic chords, E major and A major. First you have to understand how to read chord charts, which is pretty simple. Here you can see a chart of the A major chord. You can see 6 lines which represent the strings of the guitar. Where the X is shown is the lowest string, which is the E string, all the way up to the high E string. If you see an X, the string is not played in the chord, and if you see a circle, the string is played opened. In this diagram you can see on the second string a circle. That means on the A string you don't have to put a finger on the frets, but you play it open. Then you see numbers on certain lines which represent your fingers. 1 is your index finger, your first finger, 2 is your middle finger, and 3 is your ring finger. These numbers are shown in the diagram on specific frets, which are these metal things here. This is the first fret, second, third, fourth, and so on. In this diagram you can see all the fingers are shown in the second fret, but you don't play the notes on the fret itself, you play them a little bit before it. As you can see in the diagram, all 3 numbers are written out in the second fret, which is this fret, which means that all your fingers in the A chord are in the second fret. The index finger, which is marked with 1, starts on the third string, which is the D string, second fret. After that, your middle finger, which is signed with a 2, also is fretted on the second fret on the next string, and your third finger is 1 string below. As you can see, it's pretty difficult to put all the fingers in the same fret, so you have to move the first finger up to the beginning of the fret to make space for the others. You can pluck each string with your thumb to check if it's sounding good, but don't forget the open strings with the circle around. Starting on the second string, A, which has no fret. Then let's play the chord again. Third string, fourth string, fifth string, and on the last string it's an open string again. It takes a lot of practice and effort in the beginning to get these chords sounding right. Maybe you have to push pretty hard to make the string ring. If you don't push hard enough, you only get a buzzing sound. This takes a little bit of practice, and don't put your fingers too flat on the string. Put them on a steep angle, about 90 degrees. This way you have more space for your other fingers. Now you can strum all strings together to see how your chord sounds, but leave out the lowest E string, because in the diagram there's an X, which means the string isn't played. Start from low to high and strum down. You can do it with your thumb or with the nail of your index finger. Or if you already have a plaque, you can use plaques. I put the plaque between my index finger and my thumb and strum down. Now you have learned your first chord, A major. Next, let's take a look at the second chord, E major. As you can see in the chord chart, all strings are played with this chord, and there are 3 open strings in this chord which don't have to be fretted. The low E string, the high B string and the high E string. Now you have to fret the A, D and G string. Put your middle finger on the second string, second fret, followed by the ring finger, third string, second fret, followed by your index finger, first fret, fourth string. This chord can take a little bit of practice in the beginning. Now all strings. This is the A major chord. Now we know 2 chords already, A and E. Now let's talk about strumming. Strumming is a motion you make when playing the chords to get a good rhythm down. There are many different strumming patterns, but let's start easy. Let's take our chords. A. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, I strum down on every beat to keep it simple. Let's change to E. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the beginning it's very difficult to change between the chords, so take your time and practice it very slow. I will show you slowly how to go from A to E. First, fret your normal A chord with your 3 fingers in the second fret. Now lift all your fingers slightly, put your middle and ring finger 2 strings higher. Now we are on the A and D string. Your index finger, which is now free, goes on the G string. Now we went from A to E. Do the same thing backwards to go to A again. Doesn't matter how you strum in the beginning, if you use a pluck or just use your thumb or the nail of your index finger. More important is that you get the chords and changes down, but start slowly and build up speed over time. It's time to play the first song. It's possible to play a song with just 2 chords. In fact, there are many songs which just contain 2 chords. Let's play the song For What It's Worth by Buffalo Spring, an old classic. This song consists of only 2 chords. Starting with E, changing to A. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Just strum every chord 1 time in the beginning. Now try strumming on every beat. 1, 2, 3, So there you have it. You just learned the basics of playing the acoustic guitar and already can play a song. Let's recap the steps real quick. First, make sure your guitar is in tune, which you can do with a phone app, a clip-on tuner or a separate tuning device. Second, you slowly have to learn chords, which you can do with chord diagrams. Practice fretting this chord slowly and make sure that every string rings out properly. This is step 2. You tuned your guitar. You got your chords down. Now you can play simple songs already, as we did in this example. As you can see, even total beginners can learn a song relatively quickly with just a few chords. If you keep practicing, let's say 15 to 20 minutes a day, and start adding chords, you will very quickly learn the guitar. In the next video I want to show you some more chords and play another song which consists of 3 chords and even a little melody, which is also very fun. What is your biggest struggle starting out on the guitar? Please let me know in the comments below. This is Robert Lenton. See you next time. Bye.